where you are today and where you want to be, if you said what are the key 2 or 3 key hurdles your team or your organization is going to have to face in the next year and 18 months in a post-COVID now, and all the disruption COVID has created. Yeah. So how do you think you're going to be looking at where you are today and what you're going to be in about a year or 18 months from now?
Sure. So, there's no clear kind of say that we have to be this place after 2 years or after 3 years. There is, of course, there are vision and roadmaps that we are working on. It's a very fast changing world, the data is multiplying like on a daily basis these days. So there is like a very well-known phrase that the 90% of the data that you see today was created in the last 2 years. But what I predict is in the next 5 to 7 years, the data of any organization will almost double every 12 hours. So, which means, you switch off your work, you go to sleep, you wake up next morning and your organizational data is twice of what it was yesterday. So, and that's every single day, right? So every organization must prepare for such data explosion. So that's what we are also working towards. It's not just about deriving insights or doing data science. It's also about a clear data management strategy and data engineering strategy, right? So at Sanofi, that's exactly what we are working on to make sure that the data organizations are empowered enough and we can deliver upon these kind of transformations within the shortest time possible. So, the challenges more or less, it remains what we talked about already. Working communication, working with different data silos, working with the relationship building process. So all of those remain the same, but I think it's more to do with focusing on your data foundations and your data management strategy in the close term or the short term, and having that long-term visibility of how you would be able to manage the data explosion and still being able to derive the value from the data. So that's more where I see, us moving towards.
Just, as you look at the things we just talked about around the strategy Sanofi has put into place around building data lakes out and providing democratization and so on, things you're undertaking. But within the industry itself, within both the technology industry and also the pharma industry, what are the key trends you're seeing, both being disruptive to Sanofi and also what your competitors are doing?
Sure. Okay, now I get your question better. So most of our competitors, are doing, what we are actually doing in terms of putting together the right data organization, empowering them to take difficult but effective decisions, categorizing your data portfolio into, verticals and horizontals, verticals being supporting your business units and horizontal being your back office. So this is similar in concept, what, like Pfizer's of the world or J&J, Merck and others are doing. So what we have been also focusing on is to how do we leverage the whole concept of agile to be able to meet this need. So there is a concept of pods, which we have introduced recently, where we work on a specific data problem. We put together a small team of, say, 5 people, 7 people for 20 days, 30 days with a predefined expectation. And this is a completely new way of working for us in a very agile way. But we have already seen that this has been very effective in addressing a lot of business cases in quick timeframes and with surprisingly, good quality results. So another thing that, some of the other industry leaders are doing is to push for the 4 key areas related to data. It's the technology and infrastructure area where the move to cloud or hybrid cloud is the number one that every other industry is following today. Business value generation is key again. Data projects should be measured by the business value it can generate. Then the next and the most important is the trust in data. How do you develop that trust within the organization? So a lot of our industry competitors or other industries that we work on the data with is focusing a lot on data privacy, data security, and all those areas, which we are also adopting from them. So these are not just nice words anymore. These are extremely important when it comes to designing a truly global data-first organization.
Yeah, that's good to hear and good to see that the understanding of the pods, I coin them as the data ops studios.
Yes.
So it's come together as a studio, and something we're doing as well. So it's good to see, and having data product owners, I think, making not one of the problems with data has been we treated it as a service, but it's really a pipeline and it's a technology side of it.
Absolutely.
We've not really treated it as like a product which gets out at the end of the day. And so hearing the agile methodology and pods to make data a product line which comes out is really, really key to unlocking the value out of that data lake as we go forward. But I think, thank you very much for your time here. Really enjoyed the conversation and discussion. And so thank you, Gaurav. Thank you for joining me today. Please visit cdomagazine.tech for additional interviews. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Buzz, for your time as well. And thank you for all the great questions that you have asked.